means governing you, but maybe it doesn't. Maybe it's optional, okay? We'll see, except they say govern, except you know that every Republican says, I don't believe in a separation of church and state. I've seen it 1,000 times. You're being totally disingenuous if you don't say that. You know that that's what they say, and that would be a religious oppression of the rest of us. We're not interested in the religious oppression. We're not interested in oppressing women and saying, hey, you have to serve us in the home. We're not interested in any of that oppression. Ironically, Dennis, what we want on the left is freedom, and for all of you right-wingers to get out of our damn lives.
Yes.
Right, so I understand how you operate. You have these long monologues, you go from subject to subject, and we can't analyze any one of them. I asked you when Christian
that he murdered. Okay.
What? He murdered?
Yeah. You do a war and you have a kill ratio of 1,000, sometimes 100 to 1, sometimes even more. And that kills thousands of Palestinians and go, oh golly gee, did I kill all of them? It was an accident. When the terrorist Arabs who can't govern themselves, who are vicious terrorists, they do it, that is terrorism. When the state of Israel does it, it is not terrorism. And we killed 100 times more, but it is not terrorism. We bomb in the middle of a crowded city and murder their civilians, but that is not terrorism because the state does it and people Dennis Prager likes does it. But the Arabs and the Palestinians are vicious terrorists by nature and can never govern themselves. Boy, advocate for freedom, Dennis. You're doing great.
Somebody should add up the amount of time I got to speak and you got to speak on this segment here. Your notion that kill ratio determines morality is really pathetic. We killed far more Germans than Germans killed Brits or Americans. Does that make America wrong in World War II? If kill ratio is your criterion, I'm curious, was America wrong?
No, Dennis, it depends on disproportionate power. You know who had disproportionate power? The Germans over the Jews. They had disproportionate power, and the state did it. The state of Germany did that to the Jewish population, to the Polish population, to all of those different people. But you would say, no, when the state does it, it's no big deal. State does it, it's no big deal. That's not terrorism. Only when civilians. Well, could Jews have fought back against Hitler and done it with great violence and tried to bomb him and kill him? Could they have done that? Would that have been morally conscious thing to do?
Okay, it has nothing to do with anything we discussed. Well, I don't understand your question. If the Jews could have bombed Hitler, should they have?
Yes.
Is that your question?
Yes.
Yes, they should have.
So if you're being oppressed, you get to bomb the.
Stop it. I gotta stop it right here, folks. Here we go again. Virtue signaling right from the top of his progressive perch is Cenk Uygur. And he's going there, folks. He's going right there. You know where he's going? We're going to put an equivalency between Hitler and the Nazis and Israel. Because Hitler and the state, they were occupying Germany at the time. They were occupying the Jewish nation. They were occupying Poland. They were occupying Czechoslovakia. So here's Israel. Israel is just like Hitler. The state. That's exactly the equivalency that they're saying. This is exactly the drop back position that goes on every single time from these woke, social justice warrior, progressive virtue signaling snobs up on their progressive perches, preaching to us, telling us that there's an equivalency between Israel, Hitler, and the Nazis. Let's continue on and see what more Cenk Uygur has to say, and Dennis's reaction.
Are you comparing Israel to Hitler? I won't even argue with you. I just want to.
No, I'm asking you a simple question. I'm not drawing a comparison. I'm just asking you a simple question. If you're being.
No, I'm not drawing a comparison. I just said it, but I'm not drawing a comparison. No, what? Me? Come on. I didn't say it. I'm not saying that.
Oppressed as the Jews were in Germany, are you allowed to bomb and kill your oppressors?
To Hitler? I won't argue with you. I want it yes or no. Are you comparing Israel to Hitler?
No, I'm asking does state power count?
So you're not, there's no.
No, I'm asking does state power count as terrorism? I think it does count. I think when the Germans killed all those people, that was terrorism. I think when America and Israel and Russia invade other countries and kill civilians, that's also terrorism. Doesn't that make logical sense?
No, it doesn't make logical sense, you stupid, idiotic, moronic retard. Are you basically saying that we were committing terrorism in World War I? We committed terrorism in World War II? Kill ratios? You probably thought we were committing terrorism when we dropped the bomb on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. There are relative arguments that are to be made. What is going to be the best solution? In terms of the dropping the bomb, there are a lot of people that think back now and are doing apologetics and somersaults and all kinds of things. Basically, America shouldn't have dropped the atomic bomb. We were just doing it because, they were funny. They were just funny looking people over there at that time. They were Asians. They were Japanese. And so what if we dropped a bomb on them? That's the apologetics that's going on. Now, America was bad. They were bad. Slap the wrist. Bad people for dropping the bomb. But a decision had to be made. How many more civilians would have been killed in hand-to-hand combat or bombing raids, with not the atomic, bomb, but with just basically, normal bombing raids that we did throughout Germany, and then sending in our soldiers onto the mainland of Japan, where they were prepared themselves, the Japanese people, to fight until the death. How many more millions of people on both sides would have suffered casualties? And the decision had to be weighed. So this kill ratio is just full of crap.
No, not at all. Israel defends itself. End of issue.
That's literally what the Germans said. We must defend the homeland.
Okay, so you are comparing the Germans and Israel.
I'm comparing state power to state power. You're saying no, individuals are terrorists, Arabs are terrorists, but the Israelis are never terrorists, and the state is never terrorist.
This is mind-boggling. It's worth it. I'll play it on my show. You'll get a lot of publicity.
All right, fantastic. Okay, so Dennis Prager, who does not believe in freedom just for Palestinians. Everybody else enjoy. Maybe you live under a Christian nation, and maybe that means governing you, but maybe it doesn't. Maybe it's optional, okay? We'll see, except they say govern, except that every Republican says, I don't believe in a separation of church and state. I've seen it 1,000 times. You're being totally disingenuous if you don't say that. You know that that's what they say, and that would be a religious oppression of the rest of us. We're not interested in the religious oppression. We're not interested in oppressing women and saying, hey, you have to serve us in the home. We're not interested in any of that oppression. Ironically, Dennis, what we want on the left is freedom, and for all of you right-wingers to get out of our damn lives.
Yes.
Right, so I understand how you operate. You have these long monologues. You go from subject to subject, and we can't analyze any one of them. I asked you, when Christians were in power in this country, did they ever force Christianity upon anyone? So I don't know what you're talking about when you say they don't believe in separation of church and state.
But that's why I love America. That's why, but Dennis.
You have a United States Congresswoman, Lauren Boebert, giving incessant speeches about how the Constitution doesn't say there's a separation of church and state, completely rewriting the Constitution and spreading this ideology that this should be a Christian nation. That is wrong. If you genuinely believe in freedom, as I do, as Cenk does, as most normal people who love America do, you should not force your religious doctrine on others.
Okay, if you're on the left as opposed to liberal, you don't believe in a free nation. I reject that because you suppress dissent.
No,
you're
don't.
on
You're
our show.
We're not suppressing dissent at all.
Right.
We're not talking about that kind of dissent, you two idiots. That's not what we're talking about, suppressing dissent. Of course he's on your show and he's talking and you're talking, you're allowing him to talk. We're talking about what the left does. Anybody on the right speaks out about any issue. You speak out against trans, against gays, against homosexual, anything you pick it out, you're gonna be censored. You're gonna lose something. You're either gonna be, cancel culture is out there. What the hell are you talking about? A conservative speaker can't even go on most campuses anymore for fear of what? Violence that's going to happen? For fear of violence going to happen to the place that they're going to speak, to the people that attend, to the speaker itself? There's no even equivalency. It's not even freaking close, guys. It's not even freaking close between right and left. The left says they want diversity. Oh, but they don't want diversity of thought. They don't want diversity of opinion. No, neither do you guys. You don't care about diversity unless we basically kowtow to what it is that you're talking about. You name me one time, one place, on a university, any place, that conservatives have said, we don't want that leftist talking. We don't want that Democrat talking. We don't want that liberal here. I don't know of any. I really don't. I would love to be educated if that can happen, to find out. I never heard of it. Someone let me know. Is it possible? It could be. But for the most part, it is a left that basically crushes in terms of free speech, that does not allow for dissent. Dennis is 1,000% right on this thing, and you guys have no freaking clue. Bringing up that you're on my show, you're on the DYT show. We're not suppressing anything. Nobody gives a crap that you're on his show. Nobody gives a crap that he's there. Can't even understand a simple question.
Well, I don't get a chance to speak much, but you're right, and I honor that, and you are exceptional.
All right.
In this regard, you're an exception, but it has nothing to do with the generalization that the left suppresses dissent.
Bingo!
That's true at every university. It is true at every corporation. Conservatives fear losing their jobs. Liberals do not.
Absolutely true.
All that is, again, we disagree, but now we're 5 minutes over, and you've been very patient. So thank you for joining us. Thank you for staying on. We do appreciate it. And of course, play all the clips you like on your show. It'll be great to watch. Dennis Prager, thank you for coming on the Young Turks.
Well, that was a debate that would have put you to sleep, right? I mean, there was nothing fiery, nothing explosive. Nobody was getting out of control, right? Unbelievable debate, folks. Unbelievable. At the very end, though, Cenk, a tag team with Cenk and Ana, right? Come in the ring. Tag team. Get inside there. Dennis held his own. Cenk put in his points, bloviating as usual. Dennis basically trying to say, hey, listen, I don't know about the timing here or whatever, but you had me on your show and you talked twice as much as I did. But hey, that's the way it goes sometimes. Anyways, folks, we appreciate you taking the time to watch. You've been watching the Dr. Nasir Shaikh Show. I've been your host, Dr. Nasir. Put your comments down below. Let me know what you think. Subscribe, like the channel. Links above and below. Other videos are out there. We appreciate you taking the time to watch. Our final thought, which is, when you're right, you're right. And when you're left, you're wrong. Until next time, folks, take care and stay safe.